Welcome. It's time to bring you up to speed with what's happening across the Nigerian Federation, crisscrossing the 6 geopolitical zones. I am Olumide Macaulay. On today's program, INEC receives sensitive materials for Rivers State rerun elections, setting the stage for the polls. Governor Willie Obiano's 2-year milestones of achievements as #1 citizen of Anambra State. And Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa inspects road construction. We'll begin in the south part of the country. It's politics, and it's happening just very soon. The countdown to this weekend's National and State Assembly rerun polls continues, with INEC taking delivery of the sensitive materials needed. Officials of the electoral body, political party agents, and other stakeholders are expected to take stock before onward distribution to the local government areas in the state. Our River State correspondent Emmanuel Ereyi says the materials were received under the watchful eyes of security operatives.
This is the headquarters of INEC in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. What you can see happening over my shoulder is the delivery of sensitive materials to be used for this Saturday's legislative rerun elections in the states. And I can tell you that the battle for the polls has officially begun with the arrival of these materials. Party agents are on ground. INEC officials are here, and in the next few moments we are expected to see the official ceremony of the handover of these sensitive materials from the CBN officials to INEC officials for onward movement to the 23 local government areas in the state. And so we'll keep you posted on the development of events in the coming hours.
To the northeastern part of the country, the United States has condemned the recent terrorist attack on the mosque near Maiduguri, the capital of Borno State. A statement issued by the United States Diplomatic Mission Nigeria extended condolences to the families of the victims in a bombing carried out by Boko Haram insurgents. The statement adds that the militants continue to commit vicious attacks against innocent civilians, including children. According to the U.S. mission, the terrorist group has repeatedly demonstrated its disregard for human lives, killing tens of thousands, kidnapping, raping, and displacing millions in the Lake Chad Basin region. The United States adds that it will continue to support those affected by Boko Haram's violence through ongoing humanitarian aid and victim support services. The government of Adamawa State, meanwhile, is to receive up to 58,000 internally displaced persons from the Cameroon. And this was revealed by Governor Mohamed Jibrila while hosting a delegation of the International Rescue Committee. Governor Jibrila asked for the committee's assistance to rehabilitate returnees, saying precautionary measures will be put in place to guard against the infiltration of miscreants. The country director of the International Rescue Committee, Sarah Undukumana, says the organization receives grants from donor countries and organizations to improve the lives of internally displaced persons. She says the operation will soon extend to Michika and Madagali local government areas of Adamawa State.
Anytime from now, we're having about a whole town, because 56,000, I think is very large for the IDPs, even for the state government to cope with that. But with you guys around, and of course with the NEMA, we'll be able to manage to control these IDPs, because it's large, 56,000. We used to have 10,000, 5,000, 11,000, but very soon, maybe in the next couple of weeks, mass, I think we'll have them from Cameroon. We're already informed, and the deputy governor have made so many meetings with the people that are coming, and he has visited some of the areas that we think we will be able to keep them.
We also very much want to shift our strategy and our approach from this displaced, conflict-focused intervention that we have now that's very purely humanitarian, and move much more in the direction of supporting the returns, the rehabilitation and recovery.
To the northwestern part of the country, and the leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Kaduna State has met with the state governor, Nat'l over the proposed religious preaching regulatory bill presently before the State House of Assembly. Now, the meeting follows speculations from some sections of the public that if passed into law, the bill will help to gauge the freedom of worship and association as enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution. The Kaduna State Deputy Governor, Bala Bantex, explained that the bill is only aimed at curbing extremism and hate speeches that could trigger religious violence in Kaduna State. He said the government has a duty to ensure that religious violence is no longer a threat to the relative peace being enjoyed by citizens of Kaduna.
The leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Kaduna at the Government House. They're here to seek clarification on the proposed religious preaching regulatory bill sent to the State House of Assembly. The Deputy Governor explains that there is nothing in the bill that suggests any plan to abolish, stop, or derogate the freedom of religion in the state. Rather, the bill seeks to ensure that religious activities are conducted in ways that do not threaten public order.
It is not surprising that, of course, our religious leaders have picked very serious interest in the content of that piece of legislation. The legislature is yet to even look at it. And when they look at it, they will invite members of the public to make their informed input.
The religious group seems not to be satisfied and wants to wait for the constitution of the public hearing.
It's a bill that is being studied. And so the studies continues, the discussions continue, and when we are called for a public hearing, by then stakeholders would have presented their memo to the State House of Assembly, which would have been received, and then the public hearing will now give everybody the opportunity to express his or her own mind.
We have information that our members are being asked to buy form for license, 4,000 naira. We want to tell them it's a lie. There's no law for now in Kaduna State that says they should buy a form for any license at all.
The state government insists the bill is for the good of all.
The essence of this law is to bring about security, is to ensure that we have a conducive atmosphere or environment where all citizens of Kaduna State, all people that will come to Kaduna State, irrespective of their faith, will practice their faith without any molestation or without any limitation, so to say, far from what is being weaved deliberately in the public domain.
The State House of Assembly is yet to fix a date for public hearing, which may help to douse the heightened apprehension over the bill.
You're watching news across Nigeria. Sustainable development is the watchword for Anambra State as Governor Willie Obiano marks 2 years in office. That's next.